Okay.
Grid 1 Motorsports donated $200. The man who owns it paid himself 1.3 mil a day last year. He loves feminism.
Oh, okay.
Today men act in female can be better women than real women. Feminism has failed you. How can the patriarchy help you today?
That was beautiful, Grid 1. Thank you. Appreciate it.
He's given a lot.
Yeah, he's so going back.
But if your identity is an energy or a feeling that can change, why would it be wrong for a 35-year-old to say he's 14? Therefore,
because he's not.
But then how is someone who has male parts a woman if he's not a woman?
That's two different things.
It's
Why?
different because you can't
a
go
mindset,
back
isn't
in
it?
time.
Your age isn't a mindset. I mean,
but then why is your sex or your gender a mindset and your age isn't?
I don't know which one is which. One of you could probably say, but sex and
do you
gender
agree?
is
At
different.
least acknowledge that sex and gender are two separate things.
That's what I was going to say.
There are 0 genders, 2 sexes, and infinite personalities.
What?
Okay.
Gender doesn't exist.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Sex does. So the parts you're born with is who you are.
How does gender not exist?
It's a 1960s clinical term, largely made out of the Academy of John
Clinical?
Money and Alfred Kinsey and many postmodern child psychiatrists, many of whom, by the way, were not really great people, but we don't have to go into that. But gender is a new term of the last 50 or 60 years. So,
yeah, but it still exists.
but personalities exist. We can agree with that. Proclivities or interests or likes exist.
So by that definition, then if you're a woman or a man, is your energy. It is your personality.
Well, yeah, the goal, or what used to be the case, is the vast majority, 99.9% of all people, their biology and their reality, or how they viewed their reality, I should say, were in alignment. And now that's not so much the case. So people are, first of all, there's many elements to this. People are told that they can become something they can't. So they go on a very, very damaging, self-destructive pattern of medical interventions that even if you're pro-trans, you have to acknowledge that a hysterectomy at age 17 is not exactly an easy surgery.
I don't think anyone at 17 should be altering their body. But
no, I agree.
Yeah.
It's happening right now. Thousands of young kids across the country are getting what is called gender-affirming care, but it's irreversible
Care or
damage.
surgeries?
Both. So puberty blockers and hormone
There's
blockers.
thousands of kids that are getting hysterectomies across the United States.
No, thousands of kids are getting puberty blockers or hormone blockers or puberty blockers. Probably even more, tens of thousands.
You could stop using those, though.
And as far as breast reduction surgery or hysterectomies, we don't know the number, but I'll even say it's probably only a couple dozen. You're right, it's probably not thousands.
Right.
But we don't know the exact numbers, but an estimate is anywhere between 10 to 15,000 minors, and is growing, are currently receiving monthly doses of hormone replacement therapy, estrogenic therapy.
Yeah, but you can stop those and be like...
Well, that's the question, right? There's a lot of detransitioners that are speaking out that are not able to puberty is not an assembly line that you could just push a button and restart. That is a increasingly disproven scientific theory right now. Chloe Cole is one of the most famous detransitioners who, she's in her 20s and she was sold a bill of goods, and when she was 16 she said, I think I'm a man, and she went on a very, very aggressive regimen of hormone blockers and puberty blockers, and she has huge regret, and hopefully one day she'll be able to have children again. But it gets back to a question of so I'm just making a point, though, that these ideas have consequences. It's more than just a silly question. Oh, what is a woman? That if you can't answer it, or at the very least say that you should allow minors to become adults before they make these decisions, then, and this is not a small thing, the quote-unquote gender-affirming care, we know that in California you have to be 18 years old to get a tattoo, and yet 14-year-olds can go to what we call a doctor and get a highly aggressive hormone replacement therapy treatment, sometimes without even notifying their parent. And all of these are ramifications of the inability to answer very simple biological questions.
I would be interested in seeing your exact study or citation for when it comes to puberty blockers, because I know a lot of people, or not a lot of people, there's a lot of people who end up on puberty blockers not because they're necessarily trans, but because they're going through puberty too early. And there are clear negative side effects and consequences of, let's say, a 10-year-old girl getting her period.
That's a separate... you're right.
But it's used on cis children. I think what you're talking about is precocious puberty.
But it's not used on perfectly healthy, physically able-bodied children, right? So there's a great book that I guess we have to do this,